Mike Gentile is running for the Utica Common Council at large seat, and he's in studio right now. Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
So you're running for the at-large seat, which explain to people what that means.
So that is the citywide positions. There's 3 citywide positions and then 6 wards broken down in the city. So,
and why are you running?
I care about my community. I saw an opening this year, and I felt like it was time.
Okay. Can we ask you where you stand on a few of the issues?
I would expect
obviously, the one is the downtown hospital. Where do you stand on that?
I believe that we should be critical of any project that comes in, and we have to make sure that we do what's best for the taxpayer. If it's coming, that's fine, but we need to make sure that the taxpayers have the best deal in place. When you talk about things like the parking garage and money that's going to be spent, it's not wrong to be critical. I don't believe in being an obstructionist of any project that's coming in, but asking tough questions is the right thing to do to make sure that the taxpayer gets the right deal in the end.
Fair enough.
Now, your father's Frank, right?
Yes.
Frank had tried to run.
He ran for county legislator 2 years ago.
That's right. Okay, I just wanted to know because he had a very similar approach to, I think, the hospital downtown project. Not so much that he was 100% against it, but he was critical of some of the aspects of the project.
Yeah, and it's disappointing in a lot of ways that 2 years later it's still this hot button question that we've advanced in many ways, but we haven't settled it.
Do you agree, though, that there are the people who are against it will never be for it? The hospital will be up and operational. The parking garage will have cars in it, and they'll be standing outside with picket signs. Do you right?
That is quite possible.
I don't think Jim Brock and Brett Pruitt will ever be able to get past this. I mean, I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. And we might be wrong.
Chances are I'm not. I don't know how they'll ever get past this. But either way, it does look like it's coming.
Right.
Do you agree that the new hospital is needed?
I think that a consolidation of resources is very important. The fact that you have St. Elizabeth's and St. Luke's functioning separately with providing different services, bringing everything under one umbrella would definitely, be beneficial.
And I'd like your take on the mayor. He will be running for re-election.
Yes.
And prior to the change in term limits, he would not have been allowed to run for re-election.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the extension of those term limits?
It should have went back to the people. I know that when I was approached to sign the petition, it was to put it back into the hands of the people. I don't see a problem with that aspect. I was 3 years old when it was first voted on, so I don't mind seeing it go back to referendum. The way it was handled by both the council and the mayor, I thought was absolutely terrible. I was one of the people that went to the public hearing and spoke out against it. And it's very difficult to run for office.
Yeah.
And it's even more difficult to run against these long-entrenched incumbents. So seeing that and making it even harder and more difficult, I thought was disappointing.
Okay, fair enough.
Could you talk a bit about what you do personally?
So personally, I work for Upstate Cerebral Palsy in a college program up at SUNY Poly for college-age students with disabilities, helping them get to their next part of life. Whether that's job work or volunteer work. It's really a pre-vocational program there, and we look to get them internships and just get them to their next level. And then outside of that, I do a lot of volunteer work. I run the Utica Little League program, which this year we've brought all 4 Little Leagues in the area together.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yes.
When I grew up, I'm sure when you grew up, there were 8, 10, 12, 16 teams.
I was in West Utica.
In each of the parts of the city, And now you've got to consolidate because I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think, especially in East Utica, I'll speak to East Utica. I think there's only 4 teams in East Utica, and I think a lot of the kids there, because of their backgrounds, they play soccer, which is awesome. It's great that they're out there being active. But man, the decline in participation in youth baseball locally is like shocking.
And it's really, baseball kind of gets like the immediate hit because a lot of people have the memories that you guys have. But it's really every sport. You know, football, the same thing's happening. Basketball, the same thing's happening. I mean, even the Dick Miller program, not every elementary school even has their own team right now, which 10 years ago that would have been, you know, crazy to even think of. So it's a decline everywhere. One of the bigger reasons to even consolidate, you know, the Utica leagues is, you know, your volunteer base is going down, and a lot of those things are going down as well. And so just bringing everybody together and kind of creating more of a community, you know, aspect of it. Instead of having 4 separate leagues that are all kind of just trying to survive, bringing one league together that can be self-sufficient and really, you know, provide a better program for the kids in the area.
And, you know, I think it'll be kind of cool for those kids maybe to, now they'll still keep all the parks open.
Yes.
But maybe, you know, I used to play at West Utica, and then I'd go and watch friends play at Wankle Field at South Utica.
Right.
Oh, man, I'd love to play on this field. So maybe they'll be able to get a
little...
so
everybody will have an opportunity to play everywhere. And, you know, this has been kind of a process that's been happening over the last 4 or 5 years since I.
Well, and you're seeing it. You mentioned football. You meant Babe Ruth is down. American Legion is down. You're seeing consolidation happening all over the area. And I don't know if it's video games or kids just don't participate the way they used to. I don't know, but either way. All right, Mike. It's Gentile, by the way.
Gentile.
And you're
half the family
right?
says Gentile. So I mean, it's all about compromising. So if my family can still love each other, then you know, if I disagree with somebody else on the council, then we can figure that out too. Gentile, Gentile. Whichever one you want to vote for, they'll both go to me.
All right,
so.
fair enough.
And I'm sorry, I missed.
Unlike the problem that what's his name's happening, we're having the with his aunt, or not his aunt necessarily, but running for office. Galimo.
Yes.
So I mean, you don't have any of that to deal with.
No,
lucky for you.
They both go to me. Gentile, Gentile.
Either way, pronounce it any way you want.
Spelled the same.
You're still getting the vote.
I missed it. Did we go over Democrat-Republican primary situation?
Yes.
I don't have that information here.
Okay, so I am a Republican. I have gotten the endorsement of the Republican Party, and I've also gotten the endorsement of the Independence Party and the Conservative Party.
Okay.
Already.
All right. Will you be in the primary, or are you going to be...
no primary.
Okay, so you're straight through to...
Be
a long
November.
election season.
So little change in our calendar.
Has Sabika warned you that he's big on process? The process, very important.
It is important.
It is important.
It's like Philadelphia 76ers. The process.
The process. That's right. There you go.
That's the Mets. Our head coach, the Mets head coach, says that a lot.
Got a break. Thanks. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.